Have you ever stopped to wonder why you believe what you do? It seems like a simple question. You might think your ideas are entirely your own, formed by your experiences, your family, your friends. But what if I told you that you are carrying the echoes of people you've never met, that your mind is a tapestry woven with threads from centuries ago? History is not just a collection of dusty books and forgotten dates. It is a living, breathing force. It shapes the very architecture of your thoughts, the foundation of your convictions. It's the invisible script that guides so much of our modern world. Think of it like this. We are all time travelers, hurtling through the cosmos on this spaceship we call Earth, but we carry baggage from every stop along the way. Every war, every discovery, every revolution. These events are not isolated moments trapped in the past. They are ripples in the great ocean of time, and those ripples are still washing up on our shores today. They influence how we vote, how we love, what we dream of for the future. Our journey begins in the Fertile Crescent between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers. Here, in ancient Mesopotamia, the first cities rose from the dust. The answer was revolutionary. They wrote down laws. The most famous of these is the Code of Hammurabi. The Babylonians believed their laws were handed down from the gods themselves. This fusion of law and divinity set a precedent that would echo for millennia. Now, let's travel west across the sea to the rocky shores of ancient Greece. Instead of looking only to the gods for answers, people started looking to each other. Thinkers like Socrates, Plato, Aristotle began a conversation that we are still having today. In Athens, they experimented with a radical idea called democratia, or rule by the people. When you cast a vote in an election, you are participating in a ritual that began over 2,500 years ago. Our journey now takes us to the heart of a colossal empire. Welcome to Rome. They were engineers, they were soldiers, above all, they were administrators. They introduced the idea, innocent until proven guilty. They built aqueducts. This is the ancestor of modern nationality and citizenship. It's the foundation of the passport in your pocket. Our journey through time now brings us to a dusty corner of the Roman province of Judea. Until now, most societies worshipped many gods. But from the ancient beliefs of the Jewish people, a different concept emerged and spread. The idea of one God. This idea, carried outward by Christianity and later by Islam, was more than just a change in religious mathematics. This created a powerful sense of universalism. Your neighbor, or even a stranger from a distant land, was no longer just an outsider. They were a fellow child of the same Creator. The Ten Commandments were divine laws, commands from the single ultimate authority. This struggle between universal love and religious intolerance is a paradox we still wrestle with today, as the mighty Roman Empire in the West has crumbled. In this chaotic world, what force was strong enough to provide order and a shared identity? It was the Church. It preserved the knowledge of the ancient world, copying manuscripts in quiet scriptoriums, while the world outside was in turmoil. Great cathedrals soared towards the heavens, designed to transport the soul, to fill the individual with a sense of awe and wonder at the divine. Kings and queens were crowned in religious ceremonies, their authority believed to be granted by God. This was the doctrine of the divine right of kings. While Europe was deep in its age of faith, another part of the world was experiencing a spectacular burst of intellectual light. While many ancient Greek texts were lost or forgotten in Europe, they were being eagerly translated, studied, and expanded upon in the great libraries of the Islamic world. They made groundbreaking advances in mathematics. They developed algebra, in medicine, in astronomy. This vibrant intellectual culture acted as a crucial bridge. It preserved the wisdom of the ancient world and then added its own brilliant discoveries. Imagine a room that has been dark for 1,000 years. Suddenly, someone dares to throw open the shutters, and sunlight floods in. This period, known as the Enlightenment, was a revolution of the mind. Thinkers began to argue, human reason, not just faith or tradition, was the best tool for understanding the universe and improving the human condition. The printing press became the engine of the revolution. Pamphlets, essays, and books carrying new ideas flew across Europe. This budding sense of individualism was a powerful solvent, beginning to dissolve the old bonds of hierarchy and obedience. The explosive ideas of the Enlightenment crossed the Atlantic and landed on the fertile ground of the American colonies. In 1776, Thomas Jefferson penned the Declaration of Independence. It declared that all men are created equal. A decade later, the ideas exploded in Europe. The French Revolution was chaotic and violent, but its slogan, Liberté, Égalité, Fraternité, yet the ideals they unleashed could not be put back in the box. Isaac Newton showed that the same force that makes an apple fall from a tree is the one that keeps the moon in orbit around the Earth. The universe was not a mysterious place. Instead, it was an orderly, rational, and predictable machine, a grand clockwork. Chemistry emerged. Geologists began to study rock strata. Biologists like Carl Linnaeus began to systematically classify all living things. Science and technology were seen as the engines that would drive humanity forward, curing disease, eliminating poverty, creating a better future for all. The optimistic belief in unstoppable progress was about to be shattered. It was supposed to be over by Christmas. Instead, it became a 4-year nightmare of trench warfare, poison gas, industrial-scale slaughter. The faith in reason and progress died a slow, muddy death in the fields of Flanders. A profound sense of disillusionment and doubt crept into the heart of Western civilization. The old certainties were gone. The economic despair of the Great Depression gave rise to monstrous new ideologies. This was not just a war between nations, it was a war between belief systems. The horrific reality of the Holocaust revealed the ultimate endpoint of unchecked hatred and dehumanization. The Nuremberg trials established a revolutionary new principle. Individuals could be held accountable under international law, even if they were just following orders. Never again became a global vow. Out of the ashes of World War II, the United Nations was born. In 1948, the United Nations adopted the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, a set of fundamental rights and freedoms that should belong to every single person on Earth. Across Africa and Asia, independence movements gained momentum. One by one, nations threw off their colonial shackles. The very idea that there is an international community that has a responsibility to act on issues like famine, disease, and human rights abuses is a direct legacy of this period. Our journey through time has now reached our own era, a moment defined by a force as revolutionary as the printing press, the rise of the digital world. The internet dissolved geographical boundaries. Suddenly you could find your tribe not by where you lived but by what you loved. Today, with a smartphone and an internet connection, any person can potentially reach millions. This creates a dangerous phenomenon, the echo chamber. You can live in a media world where your own beliefs are constantly reflected back at you. How do we find truth in a world of infinite information and disinformation? The next chapter of this long story is one that we are all writing together, right now. We have traveled a vast distance together. Through it all, one truth becomes brilliantly clear: we are not separate from this story. We are its living, breathing continuation. Understanding our history lets us see the origins of our cherished beliefs and our dangerous divisions. To understand that our beliefs were constructed is to realize they can be examined, questioned, even reconstructed. The great library of human experience is still being written. You are one of its authors. By understanding the unseen forces that shaped us, we can begin to consciously shape our future. We can choose to weave a tapestry that is more just, more compassionate, more enlightened. The journey through our past is, in the end, the best map we have for charting a better course forward.